I've even seen many people who like go crazy because of the sickness. They suffer depression, mental, emotion. The emotions they are disturbed, even the family members. And you know what happens? Cancer is very expensive. So you can imagine going from one type of a cancer to another. Even the family members, they will feel that their resources are drained. But I'm happy my case was different because they continued supporting me. Family and friends, they really supported me. And that's what kept on me ongoing.
Now, you've not told us a little bit now about the surgery. Now you have the surgery. How was that for you?
So, I was discovered in November 2017 with breast cancer. 2018 March, I had surgery. But before then, January and February, January I had removal of the lump. And the doctor thought that you can preserve the breast instead of removing. But then after it was taken to the lab, the margins were positive, meaning I had to do mastectomy. So March, I did mastectomy. And after 3 weeks of healing, I started radiotherapy. Again, I started the treatment again.
So this mastectomy, they removed a part of the breast or the whole breast?
Okay. Lapectomy, they remove the lump.
The lump, okay.
The lump. Mastectomy, they remove the whole breast and you are left with like a hole.
So it's just like a hole. How is that for you?
Okay, not only for me, because since then I have found many breast cancer survivors. Going through that one is like okay, I can't find a good word to describe it, but it is like a way like a torture, because personally I didn't know what to put, and I knew for the rest of my life I'll be walking with like a scarf covering my left side, so that because there is a hole, and you know when you can't even wear a bra in that condition, that in those, if you are not aware how you are supposed to dress. So I thought for the rest of my life I'll be like putting a scarf around my left side to hide this. And you know when you have mastectomy, you feel like your dignity, you have been stripped your dignity. You don't feel like you can fit anywhere in the society where there are people, and you feel like you want to remain in the house. But then after that, you have to come out. You have to go to Christian meetings. You have to go to work. You have to go to occasions or different. You have to go back to your normal routine. So I didn't know what to do until a friend introduced me to a support group, and it was here in this support group where I go to buy this. This is silicone prostheses, which is very expensive. The first one I bought at 22,000. And so that's how I came up with this, because I asked myself, how many women can afford this? Because even affording treatment, because cancer treatment is very expensive. You sell like almost everything you have, and sometimes it is unfortunate because the patient dies and leaves the family with nothing. But you have to get resources to fundraise, to sell what you have, so that you can get the treatment and the right treatment.
So there is now sorry, I'm really digging a bit about the whole thing. But when you say you feel like your dignity is stripped off, what do you mean by that?
Okay, I mean because I have seen people. If it is your mate, some leaves you because they feel like this is a curse. And I remember there was a lady who told me, who had a double mastectomy, and the husband was like, we can't be too many in the same house. So to some, blessed is like what makes you a woman, which is wrong. So most women, when they they do mastectomy, they are left with that feeling. They are like their self-esteem is low. Even the community, the relatives, the people sometimes surrounding you makes you feel like that because there is stigma. I remember when I was recuperating at home, a lady came to visit me and she didn't know exactly where my house was. So she met a lady on the way in the estate and asked her, I want to go to this person to see this lady. At the estate I'm called Mama Shiro. And when she said, the one with the one blessed. So you can imagine, I stopped being called who I am, and now you are like a profile or given another name, and that is stigma. And that's what we are fighting in the community, so that we create awareness, people get to know, and they embrace these cancer survivors. Even if you don't have one organ of your body because of cancer, you will be looked like a normal person, not like you are less a person. Yeah, so that's what I mean by you feel like you are dignity. And you see now, if you are not aware what you'll put or how you'll be dressing, you can feel like you are dignity. You know, you can imagine remaining with like a scarf, like you have to hide. And you know, sometimes because this side does, the weight is not there, you tend like walking like this, bending your one shoulder, which like everybody will be seeing, and people will be wondering, why are you always with this scarf? And I meet many women with this in this status. That's why I said, you feel like your dignity have been stripped. Yeah, and this is the community, the people surrounding you, who makes you sometimes feel, or who makes you feel it more. Yeah, because sometimes as a woman you may feel it, but when you have people who are cheering, like encouraging you, you will feel like you are okay. Yeah.
Now tell us, fast forward, tell us about now how you came up with this wonderful,
prostheses.
Yes, prostheses.
Okay, I'll start here because this is where my knitting journey started.
Okay.
Yeah. When I finished my O level, you know that period of waiting for the exam, I knew how to knit.
Yeah.
And I used to knit a lot. But then when I went to college, like a period of 20 years, I stopped knitting. So this time when I got spine cancer, I was put on bed rest. Even during spine and TB treatment, I started knitting. And everybody who would come to visit me, I'll tell them, bring wool. Somebody would call, Nicolette Nini. I tell them, find a shop and buy me wool. So when that person comes, I was displaying the hats, they are called chemo hats. I was displaying them on my bed where I was. And when somebody comes, would start talking about them instead of my disease, and I would feel good because at that point I didn't want to talk about it. So by the time I was through, I had knitted these 200 pieces.
200 pieces. Wow.
But then I didn't know what to do with them because I was just knitting like a therapy. So I stayed with them until I got breast cancer. After breast cancer treatment, that's when I joined a group where I got this somebody to sell who sold me this. And it was one of those meetings. They had invited a speaker who told me you can even she asked me, what do you want to do with them? I told her I just wanted to donate, and she told me we can organize, we go to KNH children's ward and we donate, and we did that. So I did that like 2 times. Then in the second time, I met this lady who was the then chair of an organization called KENCOM, and she was the chair, and she told me, Mary, donation is not sustainable. And I was like, what do you mean? And she said, you know, if you donate all of this today, you want to buy wool. And now it is not like during that time when people were buying for you. Where will you get money now to buy more wool? So what I would advise you, can you make it, take it to another level, like a business? And I thought, hey, by the way, it's a good idea. And I asked her, where will I be selling? She told me, I'll try and see whether I can get you connection. During that time, she introduced me to another now support group, which is called Kilele Health Organization. And it was in Kilele where I met the CEO of Kilele, who is Beda Kidaka. And Beda started now. By this time, I had even come to know how to knit these ones. These ones I learned from YouTube. Then I didn't get it clear. Then another lady was knitting, and she trained us as a group. And I got to know how to knit because I had that passion. So this lady, Benda Kidaka, started buying. She told me, you know, to be donating. She also told me I'll be buying from you and donating. And that's what has been happening. And now it became like a business. And that's how I was even able to return my dressmaking business. Because remember when I was going through treatment, I had closed because I could not afford even to come to work. So, and the stock, I had a girl, but any money we are getting, I was using it in my treatment. So it reached a point where there was no stock, nothing. But so this work now is what made me return my business. Yeah. So it's like a blessing in disguise. Yeah.
Now, how has it changed your life? You said the business aspect, but what about the people who come to buy? What kind of people come to buy?
Because my aim was to donate. Even when I started knitting these ones, I started donating. Even today, I do a lot of donating. And the good thing about today is because I'm able to donate at the same time, there are those who can afford who buys, and I'm able to continue. So I donate to those who can't afford, because sometimes you find those women, many women, because I'm a cancer advocate, I get to know many people, especially the newly diagnosed. Even like here in Vika Level 5, they know me, they keep on calling me, we have this and this, you know. So I donate to those who can't afford, but to those who can afford, and to those who are able, like you now, you can buy one or two, I donate to a patient. So, and I have now like 3 or 4 organizations which buys. I have KU, Bikale for 5, I have Kilele and Kenyatta. They buy from me and they donate. So I keep on knitting. Yeah.
So how much do you sell them?
I sell them 1,000 each piece, but to organizations which want to buy and donate, I sell sometimes 500, because as a way of donating too. Yeah.
How do you feel this we call them prostheses. Prostheses.
Okay, so what I use, I use wool. This is the wool I use, special wool for knitting, and I use these needles to knit.
Okay.
Then after knitting, when it is through, when I finish, this is I use fiber to feel.
Okay.
Yeah, to feel it so that it can look like a little blessed.
Yeah.
And of course, it are different sizes, because you know the blessed are not the same size.
Yeah.
So that when I get, each person will get her size.
Okay.
Yeah.
How has it transformed their lives? These women, they come and they're like, now they can have something to wear, because at least now, you know, if someone is wearing this, you won't know whether they have anything going on there.
You can't know, because like me, you can't tell. And this is what I'm using.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm able to walk high without feeling like I'm less a woman. Yeah.
Okay. So what would you tell women who probably have been diagnosed with cancer and they're feeling like their world has ended, probably their spouses have left? What would you tell them?
I'll tell them, first of all, to trust in God, because He is the only one, not the treatment or anything which heals people, but your reliance on God. and praying and seeing him as the only person who can get you out of that. The second thing is for them to accept this is the situation and there is nothing I can do. So what is the way forward? The way forward now is to soldier and to be positive. You be positive, and sometimes it is not easy. And that's why I have gone through an emotional healing program. There is an organization called AFC, and the AFC helps cancer patients to deal with their emotions. Because for the longest, I know I was fighting with my emotions. Every day you are like taken back, you feel, And as a person, it is normal to feel, even today, sometimes you feel bouts of like depression. So this a first chapter takes you through programs. The first one is called Ignite. You go through 6 weeks therapy. And you so that you can be able to overcome your emotions. And that's how I have been able even to share my story without breaking at some time. I used to break a lot thinking about it, but now I am confident and I can share, I can encourage, I can help other, especially the newly diagnosed, because of this program. You first of all, you go through the 6 weeks, then 10 weeks, they have different programs. And last year, I did a program called Elephant. I was an Elephant fellow in September, whereby you are taken like, let's say like a holiday for 2 weeks. And of course, there is a lot of learning. This is not for somebody who doesn't want to learn. You have to have an open mindset set for learning. And this is a platform where, and I am also always grateful for the organization AFC, a fresh chapter, because they give me a platform which I had like a vision, something was in my mind, because I wanted to train other women how to knit so that they can also, it's a way of empowering them. Because you find that many lose their jobs, many lose their businesses, many are sacked because of many facets, many offs from the work. And so when they are through with the treatment, they don't know what to do. And that's how I found myself. You would wake up, everybody is going to their respective schedules, but you have nowhere to go. So I had this in mind to train them, and as a way of empowering them, and I also can train them how to be kind to others too, so that they'll be donating. But I didn't know how, because I needed the money, I needed the resources, so that when I train a cancer survivor or patient how to knit, I will like give them like 5 balls and they need knitting needles to get started. So I needed money. So in this first chapter, last year September, when I joined the Elephant, this is where I met people who I shared with them my vision, and they made it happen, because they said, this is where you are, we'll donate these different people. I talked to them as on individual levels, because we had people who came from different parts of the world. And this year, January, I started, and I did with the first group in Ebu, and they are doing well. Last week they sent me a picture of what they are doing, and I felt, you are doing something. Then I trained others here in Ndika. Last week I trained the others here, and they are also doing well. And some of them I have trained, like last week, but one. We sold 120 pieces, and I didn't have all of them. I asked those individuals, how many do you have bling? How many do you have bling? And we sold them, and they were so happy. So this makes me feel good, like a satisfaction. Like, when you help somebody and that somebody comes back and tells you thank you, you feel good. Yeah, and it was in that way I was able to start a support group here in Ndika. It is called the New Dawn Warriors. and this consists of cancer patients, survivors, and caregivers. We meet every month, and we like encourage others psychosocial support. We face it the newly diagnosed so that we can also uplift them. We navigate hospitals for them so that they will get it easy, because when you are diagnosed with the cancer, you don't even know which hospital to go. But now with somebody holding you, helping you, you'll be able to get the best treatment in an affordable hospital. Yeah.
Wow. Lastly, what else would you like to say?
I would like to say, especially this one I'll talk to. We have talked about a lot to cancer patients. Now I want to talk to the community, to the people out there, to the society. Please kindly, if your relative or a friend is diagnosed with cancer, please don't isolate them. Show them a lot of love, pamper them with love, because that's what they need, and also accept them back. Even after treatment, accept them back so that they can be able to integrate back to the community, and we stop stigmatizing. These people need a lot of love, because the issues associated with the cancer, because some don't even want to mention this word cancer. So, but when you make it easy for them, their healing is easy. But when you isolate them, when you reject them, when you abandon them, it is like you are stamping their death sentence. So to the patient, cancer is not a death sentence. People get healed. And let us not say that cancer will kill us, because any other disease also kills, and cancer is it kills like any other disease. But people also heal. Even nowadays, stages doesn't matter. Even stage 4, we have many who are stage 4 and they are living quality life. So we can also be positive. We be positive and try to walk the journey positively as much as we can, and also obey the doctor's instruction, because there are many doctors there out who will come to advise you, but it is good to have a doctor who will walk the journey with and follow the instruction, the advice, and you get well, because this is my 9th and 7th year in survivorship after cancer.